I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Few surprises here as we take a look at the latest surface analysis map. The first surprise is the eastward extent of a line of showers so far. You know, we knew there would be good circulation and good moisture developing over Iowa, spreading into Illinois, Wisconsin, even into extreme southern parts of Minnesota today. Low pressure's there. That was a no-brainer. So to wake up this morning and see that, it was basically right on track. But then here through the morning, we've actually seen one narrow band and almost two now of showers and even a few thunderstorms extend all the way from across Wisconsin through the Chicagoland area and into northern and central parts of Indiana. That is the surprise, seeing moisture go and overrun the frontal boundary by so far. So we're going to have to watch this very, very closely. But what we've got here is an easy overrunning scenario that's coming. So what we've got is a bunch of warm air surging up across the western Corn Belt. It's into western and central parts of Missouri already. And you've got this warm air overrunning the cool air that's in place around the Great Lakes and into the central and eastern Corn Belt. It's wringing out some moisture here. And so the fact that this moisture is well out in advance of the front by so far tells me that this warm air has got quite a surge to it. Maybe a bit stronger than what we'd been looking for. I don't think that means anything in terms of different temperature, but what it means is the violence with which it's going to be coming in is going to be very interesting. I think we'll have to keep an eye out for some strong thunderstorms as we go through the next few days, especially as cold air comes down into this warm air mass. So no matter how you slice it, there's some moisture out there. We've seen the coverage drop a little bit. I'm expecting it probably to refire here later this afternoon. I'll be honest, though, in most of this overrunning scenario, the clouds are so thick, I guess I'm not too concerned about us going vertical, getting a lot of convection out there and looking at strong to heavy thunderstorms. So right now we'll leave our forecast alone, which is quarter to 1 1/4 inch rainfall totals as this mass of moisture moves from Iowa and the western Corn Belt to the east-northeast. I look for the low to track actually across the Great Lakes. I do still think that most of the moisture stays at north of I-70, and we're looking at on-again, off-again showers and storms in that area from I-70 northward, probably from, well, basically right now all the way through early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's when the warm air really starts to surge. You'll notice that heat indices will be talked about a lot. As a matter of fact, they may not be talked about a lot. People may just be wandering around going, geez, it's hot. That'll be the same story as we go through Saturday and Sunday. Keep in mind, though, as we've stressed here before, you've got the heat indexes. That's what it feels like. Yes, that's going to be awful. Upper 90s, triple digits across a good chunk of the Corn Belt. But actual air temperatures, to me, still look like they're going to be back in that upper 80s to low 90s range. A little warm, but by no means a disaster coming at us for 3 days. And I'll also maintain that if we see thunderstorms fire off, if we see clouds come in here because of the heat, that will probably take things and knock them down just a little bit. So to me, the book isn't written here yet. Off to the northwest, we've got a cool front coming through the Dakotas right now. That'll probably interact, but I'm also then watching another cool front that's so far all the way back in Alberta. The Idaho Panhandle, Pacific Northwest, that looks to me like the system that really wants to light things up Sunday into Monday and could provide some nice rains there. That's when our next front comes through. That Sunday, Monday time frame, I'm looking for rainfall totals probably 1/2 to 1.5 inches. The wild card will be a cluster of thunderstorms that several models are showing fire off over Iowa, southern Minnesota, extreme southwestern Wisconsin as we go from Saturday late afternoon through Saturday overnight. Those thunderstorms might throw a little bit more moisture into this little complex. We'll have to see. But the front itself still looks like it wants to move through early next week. We still maintain that after that front, temperatures, first of all, go back closer to normal. We're not looking at exceptionally cool weather, but back close to normal. So the heat that we're going to be talking about here is basically 3 days' worth. Temperature is close to normal through the rest of next week. And then we do see two nice systems coming together for midweek next week and then the end. But generally speaking, they're coming out of the northern plains and moving straight east. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Great Lakes region might be in line for those rains. But as of right now, I'm not seeing many models push that moisture much farther south than I-80. So I still think that a large part of the Corn Belt as we go through next week from Tuesday on could be drying down, could see dryness all the way through the 29th. So we'll see. Models still disagreeing vehemently with each other, so it's hard to get a read. But right now, I'd actually want to go with the status quo. Let's face it, July has been below normal on temperatures to this point. Yes, we have some heat in here, but without anything that sustains it, I think that we're going to probably gravitate back toward that normal to below for the month of July overall. So I guess I'm not too worked up about the heat right now. If we get through the weekend and then we see signs that at midweek next week we're going to bring that hot air dome out of the central and southern plains and back in again over the Corn Belt, All right, then we'll talk about it. But right now, we're looking for those chances to be relatively slim. That's the way things are stacking up. If you need any answers or have questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.